Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you had a great weekend. We're in the midst of earnings season still, so there's a slew of data coming into the markets, along with a jobs report coming out on Friday this week, as well as it looks as though, from what I'm reading, Donald Trump may appoint his next Fed chair at some point this week. So then there's all of the Mueller investigation stuff. So the market is dealing with a lot here. So we're keeping a close eye. I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I use the Russell as my simple proxy for the markets overall because I want to make sure that before I add any new name to my watch list, I'm adding it in a rising market environment. I never want to buy anything if the market is going lower. So that's when we just, at least I, stand still and don't take any action and just wait for the coast to be clear again. So that's why we always take a look at the Russell Index first. I look at the Russell Index just to keep these videos short, under 10 minutes if I can. And if the Russell's moving higher, I deem the market to be overall in a good place and moving higher as well. So I step back to take a look at it, and I use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. I step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. I like that big picture look. Regular viewers know that when we're looking at the Russell Index here, you can see that this is the 5-year chart. Keep in mind, it traded below our blue line here for a number of years, all of 2014, 15, 16, and then look, it jumped up and over our blue line of support resistance in the latter part of 16 and has been trading in this wedge pattern ever since. So since the beginning of this year, this wedge pattern I've got drawn in here has held price in. Having said that, the candle for the month of September was a bullish candle for the first time all year, pushing us up and into this new territory here. So I've got this black diagonal trend line that we drew back at the very beginning of the year as our guide on price. I'm keeping it there for now because the Russell's kind of right in that area right now, and I like to use this as my reference. So as a reminder, blue is long-term support, orange is more medium, and the purple is short-term support that I use along with my black diagonal line. I hope that's not too complicated. Worth noting, the candle for the month of October, we only have today, 1 day of trading left in the month, is interesting because we had this beautiful bullish candle for September, but October is more of a stopping candle where the market's trying to decide, do I go higher from here or is it going to go lower? So it's a candle that reflects a little bit of indecision. We'll see what the day brings, but so far that's what I see. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving on that smaller time frame. These are the same lines, same blue line, just we're magnifying the chart. Our orange line of medium support, the purple line of short-term support that I'm going to use in conjunction with this black diagonal line. And several weeks ago, we drew this line in here. So price on the Russell had made it up and over our black diagonal line, but since then has been consolidating here in this pattern up in this region. So now I'm going to zero in on this area here and take a closer look. I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily and look at how price has been consolidating for days and days now. We had an interesting day yesterday. So it's trading in this wedge up here, right? It's up and over this line, which is very important right now. But it's going to resolve itself pretty soon because it either has to squeeze out of this wedge and go higher, or it's going to start to move lower. I am just going to wait and see what the market does. So my rules are when price on the Russell is trading below this blue line, which I use as my guide, it's the 8-day EMA. I'm not doing anything, I'm just getting my shopping list ready, depending on how I should take action. So want to see how today goes, the next few days. Do we squeeze out of this wedge and go higher? We will see. But price on the Russell is currently below that 8-day EMA. So although the markets are up pre-market, I think it's just time to be kind of cautious and wait and see. Having said that, if the markets do have a nice recovery day and go higher from here, I want to flag a past chart of the day cafe pick that I think looks great in this area. And so that chart that I wanted to give you an early heads up on this morning is ABBV Inc. Trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol ABBV. We're going to step back and take a look at the 5-year monthly chart. What I want you to notice is the consolidation that took place in this chart through all of 2015, pardon me, all of 2016, and then the lift we started to see at the beginning of this year and this big move higher. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. So it was a chart of the day cafe pick here on April 20th, 2017 at $63. It's had a beautiful run since then. Now keep in mind these are the weekly candles, but we're sitting at an interesting area here. So I'm going to put a little area of support and resistance in. And let's dissect the chart in this area here. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. Their past earnings were digested. Initially it sold off, but the consensus seems to be, after reading some articles about their earnings, that they were net positive. So their past earnings, you don't have to worry about that earnings date coming up. What I will be looking for, so this is an early heads up, not time yet, because it's all about, at least for me and my rules, I want to see ABBV move up and over the blue line and stay there. So early yet, but it's on my shopping list. The scores bring it to the top of my screen this morning. Love the look of the chart. I will be keeping an eye on ABBV in this area here. So it needs to move over the blue into my green circle, up and away. We'll see if it does. The markets are, as I said earlier, you want to be careful here. I want to see that Russell move forward and out of my wedge with authority before I do anything, but ABBV will be one I will be keeping an eye on. I reviewed the scores on it this morning for you. It still has an excellent value score, a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 15%, a current PE of 14.62, and a dividend yield of 2.81%. I'm not doing the full-blown analysis of ABBV because I did that in a prior video. Today is just a shorter video, but I wanted to highlight FinViz, site that I love. You can see that analysts, it's had a recent upgrade, so I always like to see that. It's also got a lot of positive articles written about it. So ABBV, you can put it in a marijuana basket if you want. It's got a cannabis-based drug currently on the market. So I'm going to include this Investopedia article as well as these articles that are very positive. It's a dividend aristocrat. So this is I think it's a Motley Fool article, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. So I will include this with today's video. Very positive about ABBV. So with that, I will leave you. Thanks for watching, and I'll put my next video out on Thursday. Have a great day.